Today on Good Morning Maine, a house fire in Avon badly damaged a log cabin and resulted in the loss of several animals.
Also, as the Washington County budget crisis continues, many state lawmakers are now proposing bills to help the county's finances.
And a new candidate has announced their run for governor. We'll hear all about Jonathan Bush's campaign announcement. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us this morning. We'll have those stories and more coming up. But first, to check that forecast, and you'll notice things have cooled down significantly as you head out for work today. I had to pull out the puffy coat this morning.
Me too. I had to put my heat seat on, start the car early.
All the little creature comforts. It is that time of year after all. It looks like it will be a pretty nice day ahead today, but I think fall is here.
Definitely. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. Look at this. Some advisories. We have frost advisories further off toward the west that will expire this morning at around 8 a.m. To the west, freeze warnings will then take over later on tonight. And then we also have freeze warnings in effect at this moment, and those will also carry over later on tonight and parts of Friday morning. So, of course, hitting the end of the growing season with these freeze warnings that are up to the north. I think it's safe to say growing season is about over. Now, we also have small craft advisories up farther down toward the south. At the moment, we have nothing up on the radar and satellite. Some returns in Canada and showing up as snow. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but it's kind of interesting whatever's going on there this morning. But at the moment, as we zoom things out, the rest of the Northeast looking pretty quiet at the moment after a cold front has since passed through. Futurecast showing a quiet day under a partly cloudy sky, clearing out tonight with an opportunity for another frost and freeze on the way. Hourly forecast moving forward, a partly cloudy sky, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. A terrible house fire in the town of Avon not only destroyed the home, but also killed a number of animals. According to the Maine Department of Public Safety, over a dozen pets were lost in a fire on Tuesday night. Officials say local firefighters responded to a fire at 461 Mile Road around 9:30 p.m. The homeowners were not at the home at the time of the fire, but their 11 dogs and 4 cats were. None of the animals survived. Due to the extent of the damage to the log cabin, the cause of the fire could not be determined.
Well, meanwhile, a fire in Oxford County, actually the town of Oxford, that injured a little girl is believed to have been set by a 3-year-old child who was playing with a lighter. Crews responded to a camper fire on the Gore Road around 5 o'clock Tuesday night. Firefighters rescued a 7-year-old girl from inside that burning camper. She was later flown by Life Flight helicopter to Maine Medical Center and is expected to survive. Officials say the girl's 3-year-old sister managed to get out on her own before fire crews arrived. According to the State Fire Marshal's office, it appears that the fire may have been accidentally started by the 3-year-old who had been playing with a lighter. A home and another camper on the property were not damaged by the fire.
Authorities are asking for the public's help after a classic car belonging to a Vietnam veteran was stolen, then found torched miles away. Just before 2 o'clock last Monday, Ron Soucy left his home in Levant to visit a friend in Dexter. When he returned a few hours later, Soucy says his 1970 Buick was not in the driveway where he had left it. Soucy says he checked his kitchen and found his keys exactly where he had left them. Before he even got a chance to call first responders, Soucy says a state trooper knocked on the door. According to the State Fire Marshal's office, shortly after 6 o'clock, firefighters responded to a report of a wildfire on Fush Road in Ripley, where they found Soucy's stolen car on the property. Soucy says he'd only had the car for a couple of years and it was one of his most prized possessions. He says he paid nearly $30,000 for it. Investigators are asking anyone with doorbell, security, or dash cam footage between Levant and Ripley from September 29th to check for the classic light yellow vehicle. Anyone with information is asked to contact Maine State Police Dispatch or the Office of State Fire Marshal's tip line.
Well, meanwhile, a man is facing arson charges following a fire that destroyed a business in downtown Bangor. 43-year-old James Emerson is accused of starting a fire on December 9th in 2024 in a Main Street apartment. The fire and water from fighting the blaze damaged the apartments up above and also damaged the salty brick market beneath the apartments. According to the Bangor Daily, Emerson is now charged with arson, burglary, and aggravated criminal mischief. He's already serving a sentence at the Mountain View Correctional Facility in Charleston for theft and criminal threatening charges.
Senator Angus King says he will be sticking with his vote to reopen the government rather than continue the shutdown. In a statement sent out on Wednesday, King said the imminent expiration of tax credits that make health insurance affordable for millions of people is completely an avoidable crisis. He says they should have been extended earlier this year when the Republican-only bill was passed, which he says did extend tax breaks for billionaires. King says his decision was an extremely hard one. In the statement, he says, quote, "As long as there are Republican senators willing to talk, I will be at the table. But as serious as the health insurance crisis is, I believe the shutdown itself and the additional powers it conveys to Donald Trump and his henchmen is the greatest risk. The greatest challenge our country faces right now is the accelerating slide towards authoritarianism."
Well, meanwhile, multiple state lawmakers are hoping to help tackle the budget crisis in Washington County through a series of proposed bills. Our Grace Blanchard explains.
Washington County is in the midst of a financial disaster, and now local lawmakers are trying to pull them out of it.
Nobody wants to be in this situation ever again.
The county is asking voters this November to approve an $11 million bond that aims to resolve their current deficit. Officials say the deficit is a result of miscalculating available funds over several years due to a lack of regular auditing between 2020 and 2024.
There's still a lot of things, a lot of unknowns, and there's a lot of faith that voters are going to have to take to vote for this.
If the bond does not pass, some fear county services will be drastically affected, if not completely shut down. Representative Will Toole, who also serves as a selectman for Ace Machias, has proposed a bill that would require county governments to present their annual budgets in a referendum. He believes it would establish checks and balances needed to prevent other county governments from landing in a similar predicament.
Our situation is more complicated, and certainly my bill in and of itself would not fully solve our problems, but it's one that I think is getting increasingly necessary.
Senator Mary Ann Moore, who represents all of Washington County, has also submitted an $8 million state bailout measure as an alternative to the bond and another measure to help counties and municipalities declare bankruptcy. The Office of Governor Mills says they are monitoring the proposals for next session. We reached out to county officials, but they were unavailable due to a budget advisory committee meeting. Grace Blanchard reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
In other news, groups of Mainers were stationed outside of hospitals around the state to speak with healthcare providers and patients alike. According to Megan Smith, a community organizer with the Maine People's Alliance, over 57,000 Mainers are at risk of losing their health insurance due to the spending cuts in the recent Republican-backed budget reconciliation bill. On top of that, the Maine People's Alliance estimates that many Mainers who do not lose their health care could see their premiums increase by an average of nearly 24%. Smith and other volunteers stood outside Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor, where employees and patients expressed their concern that the increased prices and loss of health care could force the eventual closure of health care providers across the state.
For us, this is really pushing, helping to push that narrative for us and get those stories from people that are directly impacted, because those stories are what our politicians need to hear, not just data, not just, some numbers. They need to hear from people that are directly impacted.
Maine People's Alliance volunteers and employees were also reportedly set up outside B Street Health Center in Lewiston, Maine Health Stevens Hospital in Norway, and Northern Light Maine Coast Hospital in Ellsworth.
Well, a new gubernatorial candidate has officially announced his campaign, and he's part of a very well-known political family. Our Callie Warren takes us to Jonathan Bush's campaign announcement.
I am now, right now, a candidate for governor of Maine.
A New York native, businessman, and cousin of both former Bush presidents has put in his bid for the Blaine House.
And I look forward right now, starting right now, to earning your vote.
Jonathan Bush is the co-founder and former CEO of healthcare tech company Athena Health. He made his campaign announcement at Athena Health's Belfast location, where he says his company brought numerous jobs to the Waldo County community.
We filled this place with 1,000 jobs.
Running as a Republican, Bush made his promise to dozens of supporters and Athena Health employees to improve Maine's job market and housing.
I think the one thing I want Mainers to know is that I'm a Republican. I think the definition of that is so in flux. Is I want Maine to know that, and I want them to know it as a good thing. Not as a cheap thing, not as an angry thing, as a thing that believes in the human condition, believes in others, believes in love. That's the most important thing for me first, and then we'll get to other things.
Bush announced his plan to start campaigning across the state with town halls, promising to lower taxes and improve Maine's economy if elected.
I think he will absolutely be able to gain bipartisan support. I'm someone that I believe that's very important. I think it's necessary, and if a Republican's gonna win in this state, you better be able to get bipartisan support.
He is one of many to announce a gubernatorial run in the state, making for a full ballot in 2026. In Belfast, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Wednesday in Bangor, local lawmakers met to discuss the future of MaineCare's members' non-emergency transportation service after the company contracted to supply those rides filed for bankruptcy back in August. Our Doug Banks has those details.
There are thousands of Mainers that rely on transportation services to attend essential health appointments. Right now, that reliability is in jeopardy, specifically for MaineCare members whose transportation company MotiveCare filed for bankruptcy back in August. On Wednesday, inside the Bangor Public Library, local legislators met to discuss the service's future.
It's starting to feel like Bangor has a target on their back, and it is no damn wonder that people don't trust the state. When the state keeps cutting funding for the very most vulnerable in our society.
MotiveCare was awarded a 10-year, $750 million contract in 2023 to give MaineCare members transportation to medical appointments. However, officials say their complaint rates have risen.
I think people are concerned about the expenditure of tax dollars and what are we getting in return. And what we are getting in return is not quality service.
I'm not comfortable with a company that is going into bankruptcy handling this very vital task for that much money.
When they miss the ability to get to their medical care, that definitely impacts their health.
Lawmakers on Wednesday called upon Maine DHHS to reissue the contract to a new company to perform those transportation services.
We need to do it with providers who are from Maine.
Reissuing the current brokerage RFP is consistent with Maine's legal authority, and it is the duty to act in the best interests of Maine people under the law.
In Bangor, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
MotiveCare's response to our request for the comment can be found on our website, and this story will be updated as soon as Maine DHHS responds. The time is now 6:13. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Piscataquis County students stepped out of the classroom yesterday to learn about future career opportunities.
We'll tell you all about it, but first another check of the forecast. Things certainly cooling down around there. Today will be a partly cloudy and windy day with highs near 55. Just a couple days ago it was 85. How about that? Mostly clear with a chance of a frost tonight. Lows dropping down to around 30. Tomorrow mostly sunny. Highs near 59. We'll be right back.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Pound the pavement Sunday, October 12th at the Sea Dog on the Bangor waterfront. Kids' Mad Dash of Color is back too. Register now at purpleirisfoundation.com. Sign up by September 1st and get a free t-shirt. Goodie bags for the first 200 people to register with gift cards randomly hidden inside. Start a fundraiser, win prizes. Cancer survivors sign up for free. Proceeds to support those battling cancer in Maine. Pound the Pavement, sponsored by the Sea Dog, the Maine Tavern, Somac America, Ice Pick Vodka, ABC 7, and Fox 22.
Maine is approaching peak foliage conditions heading into the holiday weekend. Maine fall foliage spokesperson Gail Ross says vibrant fall colors are unfolding all across the state of Maine, especially in central, coastal, and southern regions where not as many leaves have fallen. She says it's an ideal time for leaf peeping enthusiasts to plan outdoor adventures and the many fall events happening around the state over the next couple of weeks before the foliage passes its peak.
Yesterday's rain didn't stop hundreds of Piscataquis County students from stepping outside of the classroom and into the field to learn about future career opportunities. Our Alex Schley has more.
Thursday, Piscataquis Environmental Education Collaborative held its annual Green Job Fair at the Law Farm and Nature Trails in Dover-Foxcroft. Hundreds of middle schoolers from across the region were invited to step out and explore careers that connect to nature and the outdoors.
We're just exploring careers in hands-on way. These are all careers that these kids have access to in Piscataquis County to do in the future.
This year's event featured more than 27 local businesses and organizations, including UMaine researchers, veterinarians, lumbermen, and Maine guides.
I like the game warden station. I literally like the station where the dog was, and it was finding people who can't get out of the woods by themselves. I like the concept of helping people and finding them and having family closure.
Weber says the goal of the job fair is to open students' eyes to careers they might not otherwise know exist.
This sector of jobs is something that unless you know somebody that does them, you don't really know that these are available to you. And they're very tangible, not necessarily sitting at a desk and doing desk work, but hands-on and exploratory and scientific. So we wanted to showcase them in an interactive way.
In Dover-Foxcroft, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, what a great way to do it, too.
I know. I love when they do that with schools.
Yeah.
Get to experiment and see what their future could hold.
Yeah, a little different than being in the classroom.
The time now is 6:18. After the break, California is becoming the first state to ban ultra-processed foods in their school systems.
We'll have the story coming up, plus a major breakthrough in the Middle East peace effort as Israel and Hamas are agreeing to the first phase of a peace deal. All the details straight ahead on Good Morning Maine.
Every step matters. Every fit makes a difference. WVII, Maine's trusted shoe store. Premium brands, casual classics, modern style. Professional fittings, always. Shop in store or online.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reactions, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC 7. Sports Blitz is brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 30 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, where you'll find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
At China Walk on Broadway in Bangor, we're serving up your Chinese favorites. Our food is delicious, our staff is friendly, and our service is fast. Open Tuesday through Sunday, call ahead, order online, or just stop by. Enjoy our indoor dining for the full experience, or get takeout that the whole family will enjoy. We'll make sure your cravings are satisfied. China Walk on Broadway in Bangor, where tradition meets flavor.
WVI's Fall Festival Sale is happening October 11th and 12th. From casual shoes and hikers to sneakers and boots for the kids. Save on styles for the whole family. Take 15% off footwear purchases in-store or online with code FALLFESTIVAL. Exclusions apply.
This morning, California becoming the first state to ban ultra-processed foods in schools. Supporters call it a win for health, but opponents say it could drive up costs.
Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii with the story.
This morning, a first-in-the-nation effort to help get school children healthy. On Wednesday, California Governor Gavin Newsom signing a bill that will phase out certain ultra-processed food from school meals.
We're raising the future leaders, and we should be feeding them things that are not harming them.
Experts say the legislation includes the first science-backed legal definition of ultra-processed foods, and the law requires any food under this new definition to be banned from schools starting in 2035. An agency that represents major food manufacturers opposing the legislation, saying some companies may not be able to adjust all of their recipes to meet the new requirements, and warning that changes could drive up prices. According to the CDC, kids get nearly 2/3 of their calories from ultra-processed foods, which have been linked to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. But moving away from ultra-processed foods can be expensive, and as of now, there's no money attached to the bill.
It's more expensive to get healthy fruits and vegetables into schools.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has referred to ultra-processed foods as poison and has said that the FDA would establish a federal definition by the end of this year that would allow the Trump administration to address concerns with the foods nationwide. Legislatures nationwide have recently introduced more than 100 bills hoping to ban or require labeling of chemicals that make up some ultra-processed foods. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. If
No.
you ever see videos of what they're eating in some other foreign countries'
Yeah,
schools?
for their schools.
They look delicious.
I know, they do like a side-by-side with the trays.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, we have kind of icky stuff. And, yeah, anyway.
The time is now 6:22. Let's get a full look at our forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Already advisories to talk about. A frost advisory further off toward the west that will expire at 8 a.m. this morning. And then freeze warnings take over further off toward the west later on tonight through parts of Friday morning. Freeze warnings up for parts of Bangor and areas nearby. Not only this morning, but those also continue for parts of tonight through parts of Friday morning. I think it's safe to say the growing season pretty much about over for us. I think this freeze warning will pretty much end things, and also a small craft advisory along the coast. Wave heights are active out there at around 2 to 5 feet this morning. Even more active farther out towards sea at around 11 feet at this moment in time. Radar and satellite, the cold front has since passed through, and a little bit of return showing up on there this morning, trying to show a little bit of clouds, and it's trying to show a little bit of what looks like to be some snow in Canada. That's pretty interesting this morning. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So definitely hitting that time of the year where I wouldn't be surprised. So that's definitely an interesting return showing up on the radar picture there this morning. But of course, nothing to worry about for us. We're going to be quiet out there for us today. That cold front has since passed through. High pressure, there it is right there. That's going to be the case for us today. And it's going to be a beautiful one out there with a partly cloudy sky, a little bit cooler. Some gusty winds to watch out for, but those will calm down overnight for us with a mostly clear sky. Another frost and freeze on the way for us. Then as we head towards your Friday, another mostly sunny sky. And then once we head towards Friday night, a few passing clouds, but still overall will be mostly clear. But overall for today, here's what we're looking at. Mid-50s, partly cloudy and windy, and that northwest wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Overnight, mostly clear. There's that frost and freeze with lows in the low 30s. West wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, mostly sunny, and that southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive. Mostly sunny for your Saturday with highs in the mid-60s, lower 60s for your Sunday under a mostly cloudy sky, and then rain chances for your Monday with highs in the mid-50s.
Seasons Lounge and Banquet Center. We're just one block from Hollywood Slots in Bangor, and your home for the NFL Sunday Ticket. Come watch the game with us and have an appetizer combo. See us for game day specials. Bands, food, fun, seasons.
WVII, ABC7 cares about the children in our area. We offer a variety of programming for children ages 7 to 14. WVII, ABC7 keeps a file about these programs in our public inspection file. You may view these files during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The public inspection file is located at our studios at 371 Target Industrial Circle, Bangor, Maine 04401.
Time to get clean!
Yes, but that liquid detergent leaves you covered in harsh chemical residue. Not Earth Breeze. Just one sheath gives you a powerful clean.
Switch now at earthbreeze.com. Autumn is here. That means winter is just around the corner, and so are higher energy bills. But when Washington tried to cut critical heating assistance to thousands of Mainers, it was Senator Susan Collins who rescued it. A fierce defender of the program, Senator Collins has secured $700 million in funds to help Mainers afford their heating bills, providing essential help for those on fixed incomes. Call, thank Senator Collins, and ask her to keep fighting and winning for Maine.
All across America.
Good morning! Good morning!
Wherever we are, it feels like home.
Man, it's good to be home.
GMA, it's an invitation to come together and brighten your morning.
Seasons Lounge and Banquet Center. We're just one block from Hollywood Slots in Bangor, and your home for the NFL Sunday Ticket. Come watch the game with us and have an appetizer combo. See us for game day specials. Bands, food, fun, seasons.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. A new legal battle is brewing as Democrats push back against President Trump's decision to deploy National Guard troops in several major cities. Hundreds of protesters marched in Chicago overnight as guardsmen reported for duty. The troops are now working under federal orders, which allow them to deploy for up to 60 days. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details.
This morning, 500 National Guard troops are on the ground in the Chicago area, tasked with protecting federal facilities on the order of President Trump. It comes despite fierce opposition from local leaders and residents who took to the streets in protest overnight.
I can't believe I have to say troop movements in a city in the United States, but that is what we're talking about.
Illinois' governor, attorney general, and Chicago's mayor have all called Trump's move unconstitutional. Trump taking to social media in response, writing, quote, "Chicago mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers." Governor Pritzker also. The governor firing back.
He's demented, literally, unhinged. And this is somebody who's so insecure that he lashes out pretending that he can come arrest people for no reason at all.
One judge who will weigh in on the legality of the Chicago deployment later today, telling the administration earlier this week, "If I was the government, I would strongly consider taking a pause on this." Despite the warning, Trump pushed ahead with the deployment and threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, which was last used during the LA riots in the 90s.
If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that.
For now, the guardsmen are expected to provide additional security at the Broadview ICE Processing Center, where alleged inhumane conditions have sparked protest. And Trump has also tried to deploy guardsmen in Portland against Oregon's wishes. Later today, judges there and in Illinois are expected to decide if the troops can stay. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Bitcoin ATMs are popping up all over the country in supermarkets, liquor stores, and bodegas. But critics are saying that these machines are a hit with scammers. Bitcoin ATMs can seem like a quick way to buy crypto, but they're also a favorite tool for scammers. Here's what you should know. Scammers may trick you into needing to pay a fee using Bitcoin. They can instruct you to withdraw cash or deposit into a Bitcoin ATM and send Bitcoin to their own wallet. Bitcoin transactions can be hard to trace, so it's almost impossible to get your money back once it's sent. Critics are asking those who use Bitcoin to be cautious.
Well, in other news, a major breakthrough in the Middle East peace process, Israel and Hamas agreeing to the first phase of a peace deal to end the conflict in Gaza. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio also has that story.
This morning, a major step towards ending the war in Gaza after Israel and Hamas agreed to the first phase of a peace plan.
The world has come together around this deal, and that's something I would say that without that wouldn't happen.
President Trump saying the deal means all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line. Relatives of the hostages speaking to the president overnight after hearing their loved ones would soon be released.
You just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu saying, "I thank President Trump and his team from the bottom of my heart for their commitment to this sacred mission of freeing our hostages." Hamas releasing a statement saying that it will not abandon our people's national rights until freedom, independence, and self-determination are achieved. In the streets of Tel Aviv overnight, families seen popping champagne and celebrating. However, experts warn major hurdles remain ahead. Netanyahu has said that Israel won't end the war unless Hamas disarms, a condition Hamas has firmly rejected. Neither side has mentioned disarmament since peace talks began.
I would personally venture out to say that the war is far from over and that we don't know what happens after this phase is over.
Experts say that even if the agreement does lead to a ceasefire, rebuilding Gaza may be an even greater challenge. In the meantime, much-needed humanitarian aid will now be allowed into Gaza. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, a new law regarding baby food is making it easier for parents to find out if your infant's food contains toxic metals. A new law in California mandates baby food makers to test their products every month for heavy metals. This law not only affects the Golden State, but the rest of the country as well. The law, a first of its kind in the U.S., requires companies selling products in California to test for 4 toxic elements: lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury, elements known for impacting a baby's brain and development. Companies must publicly disclose their test results online. Studies in the past have found concerning levels of toxic elements in some store-bought baby food. Nutritionists say the goal is to keep kids' exposure level to toxic elements as close to zero as possible and recommend parents avoid relying on rice, limit root vegetables, and feed children rich in iron food that contains calcium and vitamin C to block heavy metal absorption. Coming up on the second half of the newscast, Disneyland and Disney World are raising prices for single-day tickets.
We'll tell you about that and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
When you're ready to remodel your kitchen, find all the materials and services you need at Hammond Lumber Company. Get inspired by the extensive in-store displays in Hammond's kitchen, bath, and flooring division. Hammond's designers will help you visualize your space before the work begins. And all design fees are refunded when you purchase your materials from them. And Hammond delivers from 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. When it's time for a new kitchen, it's time to bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the Twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
You provide it all. There's no challenge you can't take on, because you've already taken on everything. You've gone above and beyond. It feels like you've brought them together. It feels like your home is taken care of. It feels like you're all at the top of your game with high-speed, reliable, no-stress Fidium fiber internet.
It feels like Fidium.
Thank you
Thinking about selling your valuables? Don't miss the Great Estate Buying event presented by Jules Estate Buyers. For 4 days only, we're purchasing fine jewelry, watches, gold, silver, old coins, and more. Our experts will evaluate any item to provide you with a fair offer and pay you on the spot. Come be a part of the Great Estate Buying event this week only. Hosted by Days Jewelers in Bangor, October 7th through the 10th. For information, visit JulesEstateBuyers.com.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 9th, 2024, and it is also International Beer and Pizza Day. Yeah!
Yeah. When you think of pizza, you most likely think of Italy, but did you know that the first pizza was made by the Greeks and Egyptians? Pepperoni may be the most popular topping in today's world, but in ancient times, the Greeks and Egyptians coated their flatbread pizza in olive oil and spices. Today's holiday calls for enjoying your favorite pizza and washing it down with a cold beer.
It sounds good
Very
to
nice.
me. Yeah, we missed one too. I think it was Monday was like International Taco Day, which is another one of my
Yummy.
favorites. So,
Me too.
yeah, maybe you'll have to get caught up on that. All right, time for history. It was on this date back in 1635. Religious dissident Roger Williams was banished from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Williams, the founder of Rhode Island, had spoken out against the rights of civil authorities to punish religious dissension and to confiscate Native American land. They sent him out into the wilderness. In 1888, the public was admitted to the Washington Monument for the first time. In 1936, the Hoover Dam began producing electricity and transmitting it to Los Angeles. And in 1986 on this date, Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Phantom of the Opera was premiered in London. One of my all-time favorites. My dad just loves it.
Really?
He'll sit out on the patio in the summer and he'll just crank up some Phantom of the Opera down there in Stonington.
I love it.
Yeah.
In 1990, 1,000 radio stations from 100 countries simultaneously broadcast John Lennon's Imagine on what would have been his 50th birthday. In 1992, a fragment from a meteorite landed in Peekskill, New York, and smashed into a 1980 Chevy Malibu.
I saw a picture of it this morning too, and it clipped the back, the trunk of the car, and just smashed it to pieces. And it was just a little meteorite about that big. So yeah.
In 2009, President Barack Obama was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to strengthen international diplomacy. And in 2010, a drill finally broke into an underground chamber where 33 Chilean miners had been trapped for more than 2 months. A specifically designed capsule was then lowered into the chamber to rescue the miners one by one.
That was one that the world was gripped just watching it over those.
Imagine.
Yeah, just incredible when they finally came out. All right, for birthdays today, we have some interesting ones. They include TV personality Sharon Osbourne, who is 73 today. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Jackson Browne is 77. Haven't heard from him in a while. And Blue's Clues actor Steve Burns. You might not know his name, but now you do. He is 52 years old today. We were talking about that earlier.
I know.
You watched it when you were a
did.
kid. I used to watch it with my daughters when they were growing up.
It was like one of the most popular kid shows, I think.
What a neat guy, too.
I know.
So happy birthday to you also, if your birthday is today.
Let's turn things back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. Look at this. Some advisories. We have frost advisories further off toward the west that will expire this morning at around 8 a.m. To the west, freeze warnings will then take over later on tonight. And then we also have freeze warnings in effect at this moment, and those will also carry over later on tonight and parts of Friday morning. So, of course, hitting the end of the growing season with these freeze warnings that are up to the north. I think it's safe to say growing season is about over. Now, we also have small craft advisories up farther down toward the south. At the moment, we have nothing up on the radar and satellite. Some returns in in Canada and it's showing up as snow. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but it's kind of interesting whatever's going on there this morning. But at the moment, as we zoom things out, the rest of the Northeast looking pretty quiet at the moment after a cold front has since passed through. Futurecast showing a quiet day under a partly cloudy sky, clearing out tonight with an opportunity for another frost and freeze on the way. Hourly forecast moving forward, a partly cloudy sky, temperature is in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood,
here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
Dolly Parton easing fans' fears. In a new video posted to social media, Parton says she's okay. It comes after a post from her younger sister Frida asking fans to pray for the country music legend, which prompted some to worry about Dolly's health. She recently canceled her December residency in Las Vegas. A source close to the situation says Dolly's been dealing with kidney stones.
I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home, but I wanted you to know that I'm not dying.
George Clooney says Ocean's 14 is moving forward, telling E! News the movie, the follow-up to the Ocean's Caper series, will bring back much of the original cast, with filming expected to start next year. Saoirse Ronan will play Linda McCartney in the upcoming movies documenting the lives of the Beatles. The four-time Oscar nominee will play alongside Paul Mescal, who plays Paul. The set of 4 films are expected to come out in 2028. Rush is adding more dates to their reunion tour. The band will now play shows in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York City, Toronto, Fort Worth, and Cleveland. It marks the first time founding members Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson have toured together in 11 years.
There's something wrong here.
And happy birthday to Tony Shalhoub. The Emmy-winning actor best known for his TV role on Monk is 72 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
All kinds of birthdays today.
Still to come here this morning, Jack Webb with sports.
Don't go away.
I'm born to do this. I am an American bucking bull. And this is my sport. The Professional Bull Riders.
PBR Bangor bucks into Cross Insurance Center January 2nd through the 4th.
It's bull time.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I only pay for what I need. What a great day. What an okay day. What a messed up.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My dad got shoved by an employee at the nursing home and broke his hip. When I asked management about it, they tried to cover it up and said it was an accident.
If a serious injury has happened at a nursing home that's brought up cause for concern, call the 2s right now.
Our attorney at Lowry Law investigated and found out the truth. The nursing home had to take responsibility for what happened to my dad.
If you suspect nursing home abuse or neglect, we're your go-to lawyers.
Spin the wheel, the letters call, one right guess could win it all. Wheel of Fortune, laughter, fun, weeknights at 7, join everyone. On ABC 7, watch and play, Wheel of Fortune's here each weekday. I'm Rick from Brewer, and I'm a wheel watcher.
I'm born to do this. I am an American bucking bull. And this is my sport. The Professional Bull Riders.
PBR Bangor bucks into Cross Insurance Center January 2nd through the 4th.
It's bull time.
Gotta be the best to beat the best, so we must be the best. Eyes on the prize when we in it. We can't see the rest. We stay on the grind when we in it. We don't need a rest.
It's game week for the Maine Black Bears. Welcome back in, folks. The Maine hockey team opens the season this Friday at home in Alfond Arena, and they're looking to polish some things before the weekend in more ways than one. Our Max Sturm has a story.
The Maine Black Bears hockey season is just days away as they'll host the Holy Cross Crusaders on Friday night at the newly renovated Alfond Arena. Even though their season hasn't officially started yet, the Black Bears have already been put to the test, losing in a shootout to their rival UNH during an exhibition game last Friday.
You got to be willing to play simple hockey, and that's we were not doing that the other night. We did a couple times. We got a forecheck. We, did some good things, but we turned way too many pucks over. We were going backwards with a lot of pucks, and we paid the price for it.
We got a lot of growth to build on, and a lot of new players, and I think as older players, we got to really get everyone on the same page.
This year's Black Bears squad has a much different look than last year's Frozen Four team. The 2025 roster contains 11 freshmen, many of whom got their first taste of college hockey last Friday. First-year forward Brock James says the transition from junior hockey to college is noticeable right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's definitely heavier, it's faster, and the structure is there. So for me, that's the biggest thing, and just playing within our structure and being able to do what our coaches want us to do and find success that way.
Looking ahead to Friday night's season opener, for players and fans alike, there is a lot more to be excited about than just the game. The new Alphon will play host to this year's Fan Fest, an afternoon full of different activities for Black Bears fans, including appearances from Barstool's Spitting Chicklets University and a concert from local Maine band 12OC. The Black Bears hope that hosting this event will shine an even brighter spotlight on what the team and university as a whole have been brewing here in Orono.
I think it's just it's really important for us to do these type of things as a university and as a athletics department up here. And you know, we have this beautiful new facility. We have great fall weather, and even when it's cold, we did it last year and it was freezing cold and it was still cool.
Like whenever the crowd's going, like it's exciting, and you know, it's always fun playing at the Alphon, and I can imagine as a fan it would be fun as well. So yeah, we're super excited.
In Orono, Max Sturm, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Really excited for this weekend. I know there's some fans that have been counting down the days since the TD Garden back in April. Just like the Black Bears, the Boston Bruins opened up a new season of hockey this week, where on Wednesday night they took on Washington for the first of 82. The Bees and Caps faced off at 7:30. Tonight's opener marked the debut of new head coach Marco Sturm. The former Bruins forward is excited to take over the reins and thinks this young Bruins team has a chance to be very good, but Sturm says this season is all about consistency.
I want to see growth, right? I want us to see us to come together and get that identity back. Not just one day, not just one period. Very, very consistent. And but yeah, that's my goal.
The Bruins ended up winning the game against Washington by a score of 3-1. They host the Blackhawks Thursday night at 7 for their home opener. The Patriots will try and make it 3 straight wins this Sunday when the Pats head to the Bayou to battle Alvin Kamara and the Saints. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff down in NOLA. The Patriots are still sky high over Sunday night's huge upset road win over Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, with everyone singing their praises. Quarterback Drake May, who's been one of the top QBs in the NFL so far, keeps improving week after week, but he knows the season is a marathon, not a sprint.
You know, obviously it builds confidence. I think that's what Coach always preaches, you know, kind of getting wins. The win column builds confidence, but you got to flush it and keep going and worry about, you know, it's any given week in this league. You know, you learn that really fast. So, you know, everybody's got good players and good scheme, and the more you play, the more you get tape on you. So pick up habits and tendencies.
Excited to see if the Pats can build off that win. Folks, it's time for our daily check-in with the Dexter Tigers. They look to overtake first place in the T-Mobile Friday Night Lights competition. They still sit down there in third with over 251,000 votes, but the team in first place is making some serious ground, folks. You can scan that QR code on your screen right now to get your vote in. Remember, you can vote every single day, and it doesn't limit you to just one screen. It can also be any email. So if you got multiple emails, let's cheat the system a little bit here, folks. I don't care about, you know, moral victories or anything like that. We're cheating the system. Use multiple emails. Let's get Dexter Tiger up toward the Dexter Tigers up towards that first place. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Your local professional eco-friendly office space partner is WVII Business Solutions, your one-stop shop to get the job done. Handling all your office furniture and printing machine needs at an affordable price. Offering full system integration into your workplace and local service on everything we sell. We can even remote monitor your system with just-in-time inventory and service need assessments. Little to no downtime gives you peace of mind. At WVII Business Solutions, your solution is only an email or a phone call away.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. We're hometown Mainers serving Maine for over 34 years. Basement waterproofing, crawl space repair, foundation wall repair. We fix cracked, broken slabs, gutters, and energy savings too. For a free estimate, call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros.
At CNR Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the CNR promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with CNR Carpet Cleaning.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, an 82-year-old woman in Japan is taken to the hospital after a bear attack. Security camera on a construction firm's building shows the woman being attacked by the bear from behind during a walk. Local media reports the victim suffered scratches to her face. Bear attacks have occurred in other parts of the country recently. In one instance, a bear injured 2 men after entering a supermarket in Numata, which is about 81 miles north of Tokyo, on Tuesday.
And it could cost more to visit the most magical place on Earth. Reports say Disney plans to hike its prices for people to attend its Disneyland and Disney World resorts. Prices will reportedly increase to nearly $200 for a single-day ticket during the park's busiest days. The reports also say Disney plans to bump up the costs for 5 of its 7 ticket tiers at Disneyland in California by up to 3%. Disney says it offers a variety of ticket, hotel, and dining options to accommodate all of its fans at each park.
You just have to save your money if you want to go there, too.
Absolutely.
All right, it's time to talk about the weather again.
It
Looks kind of like a partly cloudy day today.
Hopefully the clouds clear up a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll turn things back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Already advisories to talk about. A frost advisory further off toward the west that will expire at 8 a.m. this morning. And then freeze warnings take over further off toward the west later on tonight through parts of Friday morning. Freeze warnings up for parts of Bangor and areas nearby. Not only this morning, but those also continue for parts of tonight through parts of Friday morning. I think it's safe to say the growing season pretty much about over for us. I think this freeze warning will pretty much end things, and also a small craft advisory along the coast. Wave heights are active out there at around 2 to 5 feet this morning. Even more active farther out towards sea at around 11 feet at this moment in time. Radar and satellite, the cold front has since passed through, and a little bit of return showing up on there this morning, trying to show a little bit of clouds, and it's trying to show a little bit of what looks like to be some snow in Canada. That's pretty interesting this morning. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So definitely hitting that time of the year where I wouldn't be surprised. So that's definitely an interesting return showing up on the radar picture there this morning. But of course, nothing to worry about for us. We're going to be quiet out there for us today. That cold front has since passed through. High pressure, there it is right there. That's going to be the case for us today. And it's going to be a beautiful one out there with a partly cloudy sky, a little bit cooler. Some gusty winds to watch out for, but those will calm down overnight for us with a mostly clear sky. Another frost and freeze on the way for us. Then as we head towards your Friday, another mostly sunny sky. And then once we head towards Friday night, a few passing clouds, but still overall will be mostly clear. But overall for today, here's what we're looking at. Mid-50s, partly cloudy and windy, and that northwest wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Overnight, mostly clear. There's that frost and freeze with lows in the low 30s. West wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, mostly sunny, and that southwest breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive. Mostly sunny for your Saturday with highs in the mid-60s, lower 60s for your Sunday under a mostly cloudy sky, and then rain chances for your Monday with highs in the mid-50s.
Tired of worrying whether your credit will hold you back from getting a car? At Down East Credit Union, we believe everyone deserves reliable transportation, even with less than perfect credit. Let us guide you every step of the way. If your credit score is under 670 or you've had setbacks like bankruptcy or repossession, that doesn't mean you're out of options. We'll help you get pre-approved, guide you through car shopping, and work with you on a plan to rebuild your credit. Reach out to Down East Credit Union today. Let's get you on the road confidently.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a great place to work. The team here provided me with all the opportunities and experience necessary to grow within the company, all while working around my busy college schedule. They provided all the necessary licensing and training. It truly was the job that kickstarted my career.
Autumn of Life Home Care is a licensed agency with personal support specialists.
Let our compassionate, reliable, considerate caregivers make your life a little easier by providing assistance for you or your loved one.
Autumn of Life Home Care. We focus on you.
It's coming. Winter will descend. Be ready and save on one of Toyota's 23 snow-conquering all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models during Toyota's all-wheel drive-a-thon. Now, from the longest-lasting brand, you could get a $285 a month lease on a Tacoma with a total contract cost of only $14,773, plus 2 years no-cost maintenance. Winter is approaching, so save at Toyota's all-wheel drive-a-thon at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Time to get clean!
Yes, but that liquid detergent leaves you covered in harsh chemical residue. Not Earth Freeze. Just one sheet gives you a powerful clean.
Switch now at earthbreeze.com.
911, what's your emergency?
We form a bond stronger than blood, because ours is a family forged in fire.
We are on the move.
Well, we were talking a little earlier about how the fall foliage is reaching peak conditions. It's going to be a great weekend to go out and check out all the leaves. And we've got a great place to do that, too. Our friends up at the Horundo Wildlife Refuge in Old Town, they're holding their annual Fall Festival this Saturday. Let me get my little phone here, get the details. I think it's from 10 to 3 up there.
I think $15 a ticket, I believe.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yep, okay. And they'll have food and drinks, raffles, paddling. You can go for a nice paddle along the Stillwater River there.
Yeah.
It's a great way to check out the foliage. They'll have games, educational displays, nature craft vendors, and much more fun for people for all ages. So
I'm sure it'll be a good thing for families to go do.
Head up to Horundo. I might be up there myself. Who knows?
Thank you for joining us. That is all the time we have for this hour. You can join us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22.
Thank you for being there, everyone. We hope you have a great day.